And good evening and welcome to another presentation of the Sim Racing Network. Tonight, you guys are tuning in to watch the Sim500 Kickass Beef Jerky Series Championship Finale here at Michigan International Speedway, the 2.0 mile oval located just north of me, way up yonder in Michigan, but just south of Mitch, my cohort in the booth tonight. How you doing, Mitch?
Doing pretty good, John. Good to be here up in the booth for the Kickass Beef Jerky Winter Series here at Sim500.
Well, Mitch, we've got a great show tonight. 80 laps on one of the biggest tracks, one of my favorite tracks, actually. I love racing here in Michigan. I put this one right up there with Texas, Charlotte, and Auto Clubs as my favorites. And these guys are out there qualifying right now. We got some pretty decent speeds right now. Looks like Comstock's sitting on the pole for the moment, but they still have a couple minutes left, and I think Jacoby's on track right now. But what do you think we're seeing tonight, man?
I think we're going to see a lot of 3 and 4, maybe even 5 wide on the restarts, John. This place is notorious for the crazy restarts, and I think we're going to see a lot of that here tonight.
Well, that's what makes it so fun. That's what everybody loves about this track. It's just so wide. I mean, I've seen 6 wide coming down the tri-oval a couple of times at this track during the B Series Opens when we were racing here. But we'll see what happens. Now, the points, folks, coming in tonight. It looks like Nick Cohan's still our leader. He's got a narrow margin over David Comstock, 14 points ahead of him, 15 ahead of Nelson Rivera. And Brandon Bowie sits back there in fourth with 17 points out of the lead. And Larry Pace is in the top 5. He's 23 points back. Now, the way we're looking at it, with tonight's car count, all really Cohan has to do, Mitch, is stay out of trouble and finish the race, depending on where he finishes the stage at halfway. And now he's sitting on the pole, so he's off to a good start, it looks like.
Yeah, and mathematically, John, looks like Larry Pace in 5th is out of it because he has 23 points back, and I don't think we have 23 cars here tonight. But the top 4 are all fair game. If Cohan has trouble early and wrecks his car and can't continue, it's going to be Comstock, Rivera, and Brandon Bowie all within 4 points of each other, John, to have a chance at this championship. But like you say, as long as Cohan stays out of trouble, this is his championship to lose.
Absolutely, and we actually have exactly 23 cars here tonight, so really it's not entirely impossible for Larry Pace, but Cohan would have to blow up or disappear on lap 1 and get no extra points at all, and then Pace would actually have to win the race, I think, for him to take the championship. But however, now Comstock's got a slim chance. Again, Cohan, has to finish 13th or higher, get the bonus point for the stage win or whatnot. But it's 80 laps at Michigan, Mitch, and anything could happen. Anything could really happen.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy race. Definitely going to be a crazy race. Going to be lots of storylines to follow along the way. And look at that, Nick Cohan puts it on pole, so that's a good start for him.
Sure is, and it's a great start for a championship leader. Let's see if we can get a word with him real quick before they go green. Nick Cohan, this is John up in the booth. You got me, bud?
Gotcha, buddy.
Well, you're our championship leader coming into the season finale tonight. You got a 14-point lead over Dave Comstock, who's going to be starting right behind you in third. But you got off to a good start for your championship bid here, bud. Starting on the pole is a great way to start this off.
Yeah, it is. I knew I had to get a couple laps extra practice tonight because I knew everybody else would. And Comstock's going to be, 14 points sounds like a lot, but halfway points could play a big role in this. So we'll see what we can do. I feel pretty good. It's kind of funny, though. I've never ran a race at this new Michigan. I bought it. I've never even been on it. I forgot we were doing the new Michigan, so that should be interesting. But I feel pretty confident. Hopefully we can put this target CJ Automotive in victory lane tonight.
Well, good luck to you, my friend, and hopefully we'll be talking to you after this race as both the championship winner and the race winner. We'll see how it goes for you.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
And that's our pole sitter / championship leader, Nick Cohan right there. Well, Mitch, here we are. They're done qualifying. Let's go ahead and give them our top 10 real quick. As I've already stated, Nicholas Cohan and the 21 car starts on your pole. To his outside in the 41, E.J. O'Rourke comes in second fastest with not a single lap of practice tonight.
Good lap by EJ there. In third is going to be the 42 of David Comstock, and to his outside, just a couple 100ths off of him in fourth is going to be that 00 of Larry Pace.
Bringing it in fifth is Chad Cole in the 82, and to his outside is twin brother, sort of, Chad Coleman in the 20 car.
Jason Jacoby's going to be starting 7th tonight. Starting 8th, outside of the 4th row, is going to be the number 88 of Brent Bowie.
And inside row 5, Tyler Young, somebody we haven't heard a whole lot about so far in this series, looking to make a name for himself, starting in 9th place in that 33 car. And to his outside, Doug Roth in 10th place in the 43 car. And that's it, folks. That's your top 10. The rest of the field will scroll by there on the screen. I want to thank Aaron Grosskopf for taking time tonight to do our production. He's down there in the van making sure you get all these pretty pictures. If you're tuning in to our Twitch or Twitch or YouTube pages, wondering what happened to Facebook, it looks like Zuckerberg forgot to pay the power bill or something. I don't know what's going on there, but Facebook Live is not participating with us tonight, or cooperating, I should say. So you can still catch us on YouTube and Twitch. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right, Mitch?
Not bad, John, as you're not going to miss a bit of the action here on YouTube or Twitch. Unfortunate that Facebook isn't going, but nonetheless, it's going to be a good race to watch here tonight.
It's a sign of the times, man. It's end of days. End of days, I say.
The end is coming.
The end is coming. Anyway, man, no joking around, though. I love this track, and I'm looking forward to seeing some really great racing here. I'm not real sure how much iRacing changed with the B car on their aero package, but I've seen some great stuff out of these cars over at Auto Club, and this is a very similar track to Auto Club. Our track temperature at the moment is 118 degrees. That's going to be a hot, slick track once these guys get these tires all eaten up. The pace car is off. The field's coming down through the tri-oval right now, and the green flag will be out shortly, and we'll be off to racing. There goes the pace car, and there's the green flag, and look at that start already. Cohan's wasting no time at all. He's going to get down that inside line. To his outside, though, is 41 of DJ O'Rourke's going to slip down right in front of Comstock there in the 42, taking it down into turn 1 and 2. So there's your 3 guys up front, Cohan, O'Rourke, and Comstock back there in third, 2 wide for 4th behind them.
3 wide for 5th, going into turn number 1 there. Larry Pace not with a very good start there, so he slides back a few positions, but now he's going to try and make his way back up to the front where he started.
And I'll tell you what, back up front, Comstock just blew by O'Rourke there on the outside to take that second spot. Now, you know, Comstock, Mitch, is a guy we've talked about, usually takes it easy on the starts of these races, saves his tires and his car and everything, and Doug Roth back in the 43 just got a piece of the wall. But as I was saying, that 42 car is known for taking it easy, but I don't think he can do that this race. I think he needs to try and get out there and get that lead from Cohan as quickly as he can, try and lead that ever-important end of the stage, get that extra point, and hope that Cohan gets tangled up with somebody behind him.
Yeah, I think you're right, John, and I think it's showing here early on. This is not something that we usually see out of Comstock. Usually he buys his time, rides around, just saves his stuff. But like you're saying, here he is trying to catch up to that number 21 of Nicholas Cohan, trying to get that one more position.
And I guess the way Cohan's driving answers all of our questions, he's not going to take it easy either. Like I said, usually you see these guys take care of their tires, because these tires, especially on a hot, slick track, wear out quick. And then once it gets down to about 15, 20 laps, they get wicked loose on these cars, especially on exit of 2 and 4. So this will be a very entertaining race to see if these guys keep this pace up. They're still doing some really good times out there. We're only on lap 3 out of 80, so we've got a long, long way to go. Let's look back in the field here. It looks like the 84 and the 33 of Tyler Young, and that's going to be Anthony M. Calantoni on his outside, are really working each other over here for the 11th and 12th spot. And look at that. Bobby Wetzel's up there in 9th now, trying to make a piece of this action.
Bobby Wetzel 9th in the number 9 car there, John, as he goes around the outside of the 33 of Tyler Young, down the front straightaway here. They're side by side still. And look at that number 15 right behind them of Nick Silver. He's going to push him down the straightaway a little bit, try and get him a run on the bottom going into 1.
And up in front of these guys, the 82 of Larry Coleman. Larry Coleman, that's great. Of Chad Cole. Was up there trying to take a spot away from Pace on the outside, and he's falling back into the clutches of 39. Jason Jacoby's up there trying to make a piece out of this. And I tell you what, we've got some racing all over the track all of a sudden.
Yeah, look at Chad Cole in that 82 down the bottom side, trying to make it work. But as you see, Larry Pace going to come off the corner, maybe get a little bit of a run, and they're 3 wide.
3 wide. Here we go.
That.
We call this guy Mr. Excitement for a reason, Jason Jacoby. I guarantee you he is not going to be the one to back out when they get down here to turns 1 and 2. And sure enough, he keeps the hammer down and keeps on going. Pace backs out of it, drops back behind these two, drops back behind the cars of Cole on the inside and Jacoby on the outside. And I tell you what, I've never seen Jacoby back down from a fight like that, and he's probably not going to start today.
No, neither have I, John. I've raced with Jacoby a little bit on the sim. Actually, for the first time a couple weeks ago, and man, that guy races hard, but he races clean, so lots of fun to watch this guy on track.
Absolutely. A lot of people don't know this about Jason, but he's been doing this for a long, long time. He and I actually raced against each other back in the Dirty Mo Posse days with Dale Jr.'s old league in the Pappy series. So he's been doing this a while. And you're right, Mitch, he's one of the cleanest drivers I've seen, but he's also one of the hardest drivers I've seen. And when he makes a mistake, he just takes it to heart and feels so bad about it. But anyway, back up front, let's check in on our leader. He's just got about a 0.2 of a second lead over Comstock there. But nothing has changed up there in our top three. It's still Cohen in first, Comstock second, and O'Rourke third. And they're still setting a pretty blistering pace right now, Mitch.
And I'm actually pretty impressed with that number 41 of E.J. O'Rourke. The guy comes in here with absolutely no practice, puts it second on the grid for the start of the race, and running third here in front of Chad Coleman. Chad was practicing quite a bit throughout the practice, so definitely a lot of show speed early on here for the 41 of O'Rourke.
Absolutely, and O'Rourke's going to be our wild card in all this. He's got no dog in the fight as far as the championship goes. He's so far out of the points lead, it's not even worth mentioning. So he can just go for broke here and do whatever it takes for him to get a win and go out with a blaze of glory at the end of the season. So he's the wild card is what we're going to call him and keep our eye on him because, like you said, this cat comes in here, no practice at all on this track, in the car at all, and whips out the second fastest lap in qualifying, and he's hanging right there at the top two. So yeah, we'll keep our eye on E.J. O'Rourke. Meanwhile, back behind him, it looks like Brandon Bowie in that 88's caught up to Chad Coleman there in the 20.
Yeah, Brandon Bowie, another player in the series that you can never count out as far as win goes, John. Always seems to be a factor, not only at the end of these races, but through the mid stages and even the beginning. So Bowie definitely got to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. Now back behind Bowie, Jason Jacoby has moved up to 6th place. He's got bad Chad Cole right there on his back bumper, though. And behind Chad is that double nut of Larry Pace, trying to catch up to these two up front of him, but not really getting anywhere. But back behind them, man, we got a whole gaggle of cars back here, 2 by 2. That looks like it's going to be the 10 car down on the inside of, that's going to be Trey Edson in that 10 car. To his outside is that 9 of Bobby Wetzel, the 15 of Silver's behind him. And down on the inside is that 33 car who's, I don't know if he wants to go in the middle or on the inside, but he wants to take it 3 wide, it seems.
Yeah, and back up front, John. Look at that 42 of Comstock closing in right on the bumper. That 21 of Nick Cohan trying to make a move. He gets right to the bumper, backs out of it, thinks better of diving in underneath him. He's going to try to get in here on one of the next straightaways.
I'll tell you what, Cohan is one of the most strategically knowledgeable guys on track I've seen. He'll stay behind you for as long as it takes for him to figure out how to get by you without wrecking you. And I'm giving Cohan about 3 laps before he finds himself with his hands full again of that 42 Comstock. Meantime, behind here shortly.
Yeah, it looks like the lack of practice catching up to the 41 of E.J. O'Rourke. But nonetheless, not taking anything away from the 20 and the 88. These guys doing a great job with these cars early on. Maybe conserving a little bit early on here in this race, and now starting to catch up to the rest of the pack here.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, behind them, Chad Cole has gotten past Jason Jacoby now, so moved Cole up to 6th place, Jacoby back to 7th. So that fight didn't last long at all. Cole got down to him, right past him, and now it looks like Jacoby's got his hands full with Larry Pace in that 00 car. Meanwhile, back up front, Cohan still feels the heat from Comstock in that 42. Comstock has not lost any ground at all to Cohan. Like I said, Mitch, I think he's just biding his time, trying to find a weak spot in the armor of that 21 car.
Yeah, the 42 just stalking that 21 a little bit, trying to figure out where he's running, what he's doing, and maybe trying to find a weakness in his line so that he can take advantage of it and try and make something happen here, either down the straightaways or off the corner.
The biggest thing with a fixed setup race, Mitch, and I know you'll back me up because you do a lot of fixed setup racing, is when you're racing like this and you've all got the same setup, but you're this close to the guy, that the most important thing is to not put too much input into your steering wheel because that will kill your speed. And every little bit counts when you're trying to catch somebody in a fixed setup race like this.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, John. As you see, the 42 had to check up a little bit on exit there. And you saw he barely checked up at all, but he lost probably 2-3 car lengths on that 21 at Cohan. So, and back to your point about the fixed setup racing, you're exactly right about that. As far as passing with fixed setup racing, it can be very, very difficult. We saw it last week at Phoenix, and we're seeing it this week here at Michigan. You know, Comstock might have a little bit faster car, but it's really difficult to pass here at Michigan.
Well, while you were talking about how difficult it is to pass, the 20 car and the 88 have both passed E.J. O'Rourke in that 41. Comstock, Chad Cole in that 20, Coleman in the 20, excuse me, got by pretty easily. There's a little bit of a fight there for a second between the 88 and the 41, but the 88 made it on by, so Bowie's up to 4th. And I'm going to have to look at the time.
Stuff early on this run, and now he's going to try and chase down those 2 leaders in the 42 of Comstock and the 21 of Nicholas Cohan.
Absolutely correct. And I tell you what, this is the time of the race, Mitch. We're at lap 14 out of 80. This is the time when we start seeing these tires get real slippery. These cars are going to start wiggling coming out of turns 2 and 4. And it takes a pretty damn good driver to control a loose race car, and it takes an even better one to like it and make it work for him.
Yeah, it does, John. As we see, Comstock not really losing or gaining any time on the 21 of Cohan, so still maybe just riding by this time. Seeing maybe if he can cool off those tires a little bit and make another run up to the 21 on Cohan. But I just want to say Cohan doing a really good job here of managing the gap back to David Comstock and not getting out too far and burning up his stuff.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, I wish I had a bigger camera lens because, man, I'm trying to keep my eye on Chad Coleman in the 20 fighting off Brandon Bowie right behind him in the 88. But directly behind them, we have quite the little scrum going between E.J. O'Rourke in the 41, Chad Cole in the 82, and Larry Pace in the 00. They were so close to each other earlier, I don't think they'll put a piece of paper between their bumpers.
Yeah, these guys not taking it easy early on here at Michigan at all, as there's lots of side-by-side battling a little bit earlier on this run. The first side-by-side battle on track right now looks to be back around
right there. No, look at 7th place, 3 wide in the trioval right now. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's a hell of a fight right there.
Yeah, I was busy scrolling back through the field trying to look for the first side-by-side battle, but the side-by-side battle found us, I guess, as the 00 of Larry Pace and the 82 of Chad Cole here going through 1 and 2. Looks like Pace going to come out on top with this one. Now O'Rourke on the back bumper of that 82 pushes him a little bit down the straightaway.
And it looks like he's going to take a 3 wide going down. And nope. They evened it out right there. But I tell you what, that was insane. I don't know what was going on with O'Rourke, but he just lost basically 3 spots in 1.5 a lap right there.
Yeah, it looks like maybe that lack of practice, like I say, catching up to EJ, because looks like he just burnt up his stuff early on in that run, and if he was to practice a little bit, he probably would have, found that the line that he was running was gonna. Yeah, well, I just call it like I see it, John. But
that's right. That's right.
No, EJ. I'm pretty sure he was late getting home from work or something. So tough situation to come into a race with no practice for sure. But EJ doing a good job nonetheless.
Oh, absolutely. He still got himself rock solid in the top 10. Now, he started this race. We got a caution on track.
And just as we were talking about that, there was a side-by-side battle between Bowie and Coleman. So Brandon Bowie, John, lots of speed there late in that run.
And it looks like the 1 and the 16 got involved, hit each other, come off of turn 2 right there. 16 loops it around, but minor damage it looks like. So that's going to bring us under caution. And back to what you were saying just now, Mitch, absolutely. Bowie, it looked to me like he was saving his stuff for the right time to move up there, and he's making it work. He's now at the 3rd place from his 8th place starting spot. So, folks, we're going to let these pit stops take place here. We're not going to miss anything, though. We're going to keep it on corner to corner, but we're going to take a break while these leaders duck in, get their fuel and tires, and when we come back, we'll give you the shakedown on who comes out of the pits and what spot. We'll be right back. Keep watching the Sim Racing Network.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah. Isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back to the Sim Racing Network's presentation of the Kickass Beef Jerky Wednesday night Xfinity Series for the Sim500 League. And folks, a little bit of drama has taken place. Our second place driver, Dave Comstock, slid through his box and took an extremely long time to get back into it. Dropped from second place. I don't even know where just yet. We're going to let it cycle around to the scoring loop here, and we'll give you an update on that. But Mitch, we've said it 1,000 times, and we've said it once at all. Pit stops are the bane of the sim racer's existence. They really are.
Yeah, looking at the replay of it right now, John, it looked like he was just, a few inches too far to the left in his pit box. So definitely going to be a frustrated driver underneath the helmet of that number 42 car in David Comstock. But if there's anyone that can make his way back to the front, it's going to be that guy. It's going to be that guy.
You think we should talk to him right now, or just let him cool off a little while before
well,
we pull him up and chat with him?
As a driver, I'm going to say let's go ahead and let him cool off and maybe have a chat with him a little bit later on in this race, John.
That's probably a really good call, Mitch. So let's see. He came in second, comes out 19th. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
I mean, we could get some really entertaining TV if we did pull him up here, but it might not be PG-13.
Family friendly, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely not going to be family friendly.
I know if it was me, it probably wouldn't be family friendly, so.
Well, the good news is he's got 60 laps, Mitch, to make this back up. And if anybody in this field could do it, it's going to be David Comstock. We've seen it time and again. This isn't the first time he's made a mistake on pit road. It's not the first time he's done it in this car. And it's not the first time he's done it at a big track, but he's always managed to hopefully work his way back up front without getting involved in any more incidents. That's what he really needs to bank on right now, is that this thing goes green again for a very long time. Meantime, back up front, it's Nick Cohan in first, Chad Coleman second, Chad Cole third, EJ O'Rourke fourth, and Larry Pace comes back to fifth. And we're going to let these guys cycle around again, Mitch. So we had a nice long run there, about, 18 laps, I think it was. That's not too bad.
Not a bad first run for the race, John. Looked like about 17 laps. Yeah, you're right. And Cohan's still in the lead, so looking good for the championship for Nick Cohan here, John, as we move on to it's going to be lap 21 at the line here. We should get the lights off on the pace car.
Well, the thing is, I'm gonna keep pointing this out because I like to pretend I'm CNN with the fake news and the fear mongering.
Oh, no.
He's got 4 cars behind him that are wild cards. They have no dog in the fight for the championship. None of them have anything to lose, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, his nearest competitor, logistically speaking and mathematically speaking, was David Comstock, who's now shown 18th place. So if I'm Nick Cohan and I see this herd of thundering wild cards behind me, I'm a little nervous.
Well, if I'm Cohan, I'm not going to race them. I'm not going to race them, John, because at the end of the day, you got to think big picture, and you got to think about, hey, the first guy I'm really battling with for the championship is, back in, let's see, of course
18th.
The big one is Comstock in 18th, yeah, so, definitely he's got to just play his cards right and realize who he's racing and what he's racing for here tonight.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not in any way taking anything away from Nelson Rivera, but, we've already talked about the math of this thing. Rivera's going to have to do a lot better than the 12th place he's running in right now, and Cohan's got to do a lot worse than the first place he's running in now for Rivera to even have a shot. Well, here we go. The pace lights are off of the pace car, excuse me. They're coming through 3 and 4 right now, Mitch, and we're going to get a green flag here shortly. And I tell you what, buddy, because I love my Canadians so much, why don't you call them the green right here?
Sounds good to me, John, as getting ready to hit the pace car off, and there he goes. He makes a sharp left turn, waiting on that leader, that 21, Nick Cohan, to fire off here. As the green flag is back in the air, and we're racing here at Michigan.
Just a little wheel spin there. Did you see that?
I did see that. Just a little bit of wheel spin and a really good start. Look at how much space between the 21 and the 20 of Cohan and Coleman there as they go to turn number 1, John. Great start by that 21.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, I think what happened there was when they saw that wheel spin, they all checked up, it looked like. But man, it really just, look at that. We got like 8 cars and within a blanket of each other back there, and then Cohan way out front all by himself.
That is crazy. Second and third on back. Look at those guys, 2 wide, about 3 rows deep there, starting with the 3rd position. And looks like O'Rourke going to make his way to the outside of Chad Cole and make that pass. And then the next side-by-side battle. And there's contact back there, it looks like.
That was a 43 car again, catching that outside wall and bouncing off the wall pretty hard. and came down and looked like the 22 back there had to make some evasive maneuvers. And speaking of the 22, it looks like he's going to try and get down underneath. That's Nelson Rivera in that 22 now. We were just talking about it a minute ago.
Now the 84 in the wall. Sorry to cut you off, John. The 84 of Calantoni. Yeah, he scraped the wall off of turn number 2 there. But no harm, no foul. Doesn't look like much damage on that machine.
Not at all. And I tell you what, we call those on-track engineering adjustments.
That we do.
My goodness, did you see that thing? That was a 10-car slide right up in front of Calantoni there.
Yeah, that was close.
And now we got 3 wide with Jacoby down on the inside, and it looks like Calantoni's going to back out of it in that 84. But yeah, Jacoby, man, he don't care. He'll take it 5 wide if he has to.
He does what he does, or he does what he needs to get the job done, John. As never really. Let's just say he's an exciting driver to watch. He never really backs out of anything. He always just does what he needs to do to win these things.
But he really doesn't overdrive his car, though. That's the one thing you can say about him. He does drive it hard, but he doesn't overdrive it. He doesn't go into a turn too hard and lean on other cars when he can avoid it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you don't see him, smack the wall a lot off the corners or anything like that. Jacoby is a very calculated driver, but he's very aggressive. But that's not a bad thing either. As the 84 in the wall again.
Yeah, he is tearing up the right side of that car. Lost a lot of speed just then when he bounced it off that time. And looked right up in front of him, Jacoby on the outside, passing up the 88 of Bowie, right on the bumper, using the 10 of as a draft, and then ducks down the inside of the 10. He might try and take that spot away going down into 3.
Look at him send it down in there, John, but it sticks somehow. And now Edson going to try and cross him over. Can't do it. So Jacoby now up to looks like the 6th position there.
He's on the move up front. Give 6th spot to him. Drop Edson back to 7th. And this is the time to do it. Your car is going to make those kind of moves, but on the other side of that coin, Mitch, as I'm sure you'll attest, he's eating those tires up by driving it like that.
Yeah, he definitely is. If he wants to have some longevity in this car, John, he's going to have to try and cool those tires down, save a little bit, and not run full bore every single lap.
Absolutely. So let's check in on David Comstock, our 2nd place runner in the points championship. Restarted this last time in 18th spot. He's now up to 14th, but he is mired in some traffic back there. He's back there with Tommy Ryan and Tyler Young and Doug Roth, who's already come into the wall a couple of times. And that 15 car is back there lurking behind Nick Silver in that 15 car. And Comstock's he's mired in traffic. And this is the bad thing about making mistakes in the pits in a fixed it up race is it's just, if you get back in the traffic, it's so hard to pass.
Yeah, and we're seeing that right now with Comstock, as he does pick up one more position right here on that 33 of Tyler Young, but it's going to be very difficult for Comstock to get back up through the field, all the way to where he was in 2nd. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's going to be tough. And
if I'm his crew chief / spotter, I'm telling him, don't get behind that 84 right now. Hitting walls on all ends of the track, and if he does it in front of Comstock, that could be disastrous.
Yeah, and Comstock in a pack right now. Look at him, he's surrounded by cars. This is not a position that Comstock wants to be in. I know he's got to make up positions, but at this point in the stage, or in the race, if you crash, you're done anyway. So Comstock, look at him, he's going to make it 3 wide. Underneath the 43 and the 84, he's going to make it 3 wide, and he's going to pass them.
He's going to take both those spots. Wow. I tell you, we touched on this, though, at the beginning of the race, though, Mitch. He cannot afford to take it easy at all. Oh, my God. Did you see how close that was?
Insanely close, John. I don't know how. There must have been, less than an inch there between the back bumper and the front bumper of the 42 and the 43 there. That was crazy.
And this is not, folks, if this is your first time watching us, this is not David Comstock's normal MO. Race. Look at this. Boy, they're beating each other up back there behind him. The 15 and 43 got into each other. 43 once again up into the wall. But as I was saying, this is not Comstock's normal MO. He is not this aggressive of a driver, but he's got to get back up to where he was because he's in this points chase. And granted, if Cohan doesn't have any problems and still finishes where he's at, it's not going to matter. But that doesn't matter to Comstock right now. He's just, he just wants to get up there and at least give himself a better chance.
And John, I want to switch our attention to the 88 of Brent Bowie right now. If you noticed, he was up to, I believe, 3rd place when that last caution came out. I was wondering what happened to him because he restarted the race, I believe, 8th or 9th. he actually slid through his pit box a little bit as well. So now Brandon Bowie also having to try and play catch up after making a mistake on pit road. So
wow, I didn't even catch that.
The pit road mistakes tonight definitely taking a toll on these guys.
Absolutely, and we've said that so many times, Mitch, in the past with these guys, not just in this series, but throughout all their series. Pit road mistakes are really the worst thing we've seen from these guys. There have been some other bonehead moves on track, but normally it's something. And I don't want to say as simple as a pit stop, because there's nothing simple about the pit stops, but that seems to always be the issue with these drivers, is getting into and out of the pits without making mistakes.
Yeah, it's tough, John, because sometimes it's hard to see where your pit box is, and there are apps out there that you can have a countdown to your pit stall, but some guys don't have that, so some guys don't know exactly where the pit stalls are, and then they turn in too late and they go sliding through it, and it's just a simple mistake that can turn into something really big.
Well, speaking of the apps, the Sim Racing app's the one I use, counts me down. I think it's still free, and it's a hell of a tool to have. I have not missed my pit box. Well, let me rephrase that. I haven't missed it because I didn't see it or know where it was in a long time. I've come in a little hot a couple of times and slid through it, but that's not, that's on me. That's not on not being able to see it. But anyway, back to the race. Look at this back here. Speaking of excitement and racing, Jacoby is up to third now. He's down on the inside of the 82, trying to take third spot away, Mitch. This guy is just on the move right now.
He is, John, and him and Chad Cole in the 82 side by side for that third position. We'll see who has the edge going in turn number 1 here. Jacoby, I think, is going to dive it in a little deeper. You see him moving ahead just a little bit. Now through turns 1 and 2. Maybe see Chad Cole get the run off the corner. There it is. Yep. He's going to get the run down the back, and these guys are going to be in a dead heap once again.
Oh, wow. I thought O'Rourke was going to take it 3 wide for the inside for a second there, but he changed his mind, got back up behind the 82 of Coleman. And I think we're at the point in the race now. We're 33 laps in. We've been green now for about 15 laps. No, I'm sorry, 11 laps. These guys are going to start feeling the aggression that they've been showing on their tires now. In the meantime, back there, it looks like Jacoby's finally made his way around those other guys, and he's up to third now, breathing down the 20 car's neck. But like I was saying, Mitch, you follow what I'm saying, though, right? The way Jacoby specifically is driving, he's going to start feeling those tires let go here pretty soon.
Yeah, and I think Jason Jacoby maybe banking on a short run here to be able to go back and get some more tires. He's picked up a lot of track position on this run, but to be able to make this whole thing tie together and work, he's going to have another caution, go put 4 more fresh ones on that thing, because at this rate I think he is burning up his tires a little bit.
Absolutely. If we go green the rest of the way, they're going to have to make one more stop if I'm not mistaken, just for fuel.
Yep.
So if this thing goes a whole fuel run, he's going to start slipping back fairly quickly, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I think you're right. And ooh, look at that 88 of Jason Bowie. Oh boy, I pulled a John Mush in there. Brandon Bowie, as he's getting past now on the outside. Oh, and they make contact. The 00 on the 88 of Larry Pace and Brandon Bowie make contact there on a straightaway. So kind of an interesting move being
look at
made
this
there.
move. Look at this move right here.
Oh,
he got into him.
He almost turned him.
I think Larry was just letting him know, hey, man, I don't appreciate you scratching my new paint job here.
I think you're correct, John. As here, look at Larry Pace diving into the corner right there. Just barely underneath that 88 of Brandon Bowie. Those guys going through turn 1 and 2. I think Bowie's going to have the advantage off the corner here.
Give it to Bowie, you're right. And we have a retiree. It looks like Callan Tony has retired his car from the race. 6 laps down is Mark Creighton. But Mark's still on track. I think he was just getting repairs made. But Callan Tony just pulled off the track and parked it and left. I'm not sure what my producer just screamed in my ear there, Mitch. What do you say?
And Jacoby up to second place.
Oh,
here.
yes. Yeah, we were looking at the back of the pack there, and we've had a pass for second place. Jacoby's gotten around the 20 car of Chad Coleman. So move Jacoby up to second. Mitch, I'm pretty impressed with this run he's got going on right here. I really didn't think his tires would last this long.
Jacoby doing an incredible job right now. I'm with you. I thought he was going to burn his stuff up, but nonetheless, Jacoby in second place. It looks like he's running down that 21 of Nick Cohan.
As we go on board with Jacoby and watch his line through this turn, it's a fascinating line he's got. Mitch, I'm I'm blasted by how well his car is working this long in a run where he's been so aggressive on his tires.
Yeah, I'm not sure how in the heck he's managing to do that, but nonetheless, he is doing it, and he's doing a heck of a job with it. So, and you can see visually, he is definitely closing in on that 21 machine of Nick Cohan. Last time around, Cohan ran a 41.374. Jacoby ran a 41.287, so almost a tenth better than Cohan last time around.
Look at this. Look at this ground he makes up right here going into 3. Lets it drift up a little bit. Not too hard on the wheel. He's playing with his throttle. You can hear that. I'm telling you, this is a very impressive run by the number 39 of Jason, Mr. Excitement Jacoby. And folks, you're getting a full-on witness on how he's earned that nickname of Mr. Excitement.
He's doing a heck of a job. He's done a heck of a job all night, John, but I'm just, like you say, I'm impressed that he's been able to keep the tires on it for this long, especially with how hard he's been running.
And you can starting to see the rubber buildup on track now, Mitch. That groove is really starting to be very contrast on the track. You can see the difference in shading, the difference in color right here in the turns. You see that black area right there. That's where the grip's at and where the rubber's been laid down at right there. And if you guys have noticed, it's been cloudy and then sunny and then cloudy, and we're back to sunny again. But the track temperature is up to 120. Now we have a fight for the lead. Oh, look at that block. Cohan throws on him down there. Jacoby backs off just a hair, but he's not going to give it up, and he's right on that left rear bumper going down into turn 1, Mitch. We've got to fight for the lead.
We do, and Cohan trying to block Jacoby's line as Jacoby going to get a huge run off the corner. Oh, and he gets maybe a little loose as he comes off the corner, and these guys are going down the back straightaway, but Jacoby, I don't know how long the Cohan's going to be able to hold on to this lead with Jacoby behind him.
I don't know why Cohan's blocking. That's not a good move. Jacoby's not in the hunt for the championship. He's a wild card we talked about earlier. If I'm Cohan, man, I'm letting this cat go. We already know he's got no qualms racing really hard. I just said racing 3 times. How you like that? But yeah, if I'm Cohan, I'm backing off a little bit, letting him go. But nope, Cohan's got a point to prove, and he's still fighting hard on the outside. They're kind of taking Jacoby's line away from him just a little bit there, Mitch, coming out of 2.
Oh, and they got really close in the center of the corner right there. John, off of turn number 2. Oh,
Cohan's in the wall!
Cohan in the wall, and he's still blocking him down the track. As they go down the back straightaway, Jacoby going to take the lead here. And Cohan has quite a bit of damage on that right front, John. Look at that thing. It's tore up on that right front.
Yeah, he flattened the right side of that car, and that's what I was talking about. He should have just let Jacoby go and focused on keeping his car in one piece and keeping it clean, but he's still at it. Look at, he's all over the back bumper. Jacoby not backing down 1 inch from this fight, and I'm telling you, Mitch, this could end up costing him a championship if he's not careful, because it's done allowed the 20 car and the 82, the two Chads as we call them, to catch up to these 2 right here.
Look, I'm a driver, John, and I understand that want to try and win the race, but at this stage of the game, if Cohan wrecks his car or something happens, he's out of it. That's it. So I think the thought process going through Cohan's mind right now needs to be hold on to it, save the car, make sure you don't do any more damage to it, and just ride it out and make sure that you get the championship, because that's the ultimate goal right here.
I 1,000% agree with you on that. In the meantime, Larry Pace has ducked down, gave up 7th spot to come down pit road. Not real sure what's going on there, if this is a planned stop for him. It is the halfway point, so that might be what he's banking on. He's going to come in here, get 4 fresh ones, a full tank, and try to make it for the rest of the way from here. But in the meantime, back up front, Jacoby has stretched his lead out. And in the meantime, behind him, Chad Coleman has gotten around Cohan for 2nd, put Cohan back to 3rd, and we got another caution on track.
See if we can see what happened here, John.
Oh, on the back
straight away.
16 car again. Wortman looks like he's involved in it, maybe.
Creighton.
Yep, Crichton's involved in it. Oh, I see what happened. The 16 got up into the wall and just woed up when he hit the wall, and the 80 had nowhere to go and just got all in the back of him and spun out. The damage to the 80 is going to be minimal, but I think that 16 is probably done for the night.
Yeah, that's a tough situation there, John. Looks like he was just trying to save it when it got off the wall and just came down the track a little too far, and that 80 car of Mark Creighton unfortunately getting caught up in that. So
now we were talking about wild cards, but I don't mean to cut you off, but you're not going to believe this. So guess who this caution benefits the most?
That would
negative.
that would be the number 00 of Larry Pace. You know why, John?
Absolutely.
Because he just comes down, gets fresh tires. He's at the back of the lead lap right now. But when all the rest of these guys go in, he's not going to have to. So he's going to assume the race lead here.
Absolutely. Great call, Mitch. You knew where I was going with that. Larry Pace had just ducked into pit road. As I was talking about him hitting pit road, we had that caution pop up. So not only did he not go a lap down in the pits under green, but he's already made his pit stop and hasn't put any abuse on those tires, hasn't used much gas at all, does not have to come down pit road. And now that he's caught back up to the field, when he goes by, he'll have this lead. And folks, that's a game changer right there. So what we're going to do real quick, we're going to take a quick break, let these pit stops take place, and when we come back, we'll talk about this. We're going to keep it corner to corner so you have all the action still. And look at that. Chad Cole in that 82 missed his pits. But we'll be back.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And folks, welcome back to Michigan. And you want drama? We've got drama. First, let's cover what happened to our race leader, Mitch. Jacoby comes in, slides through his pit box, has to back up, get realigned. He comes in first, comes out 11th. But that 88 car of Brent Bowie, who was up in the top 3 for a while, very strong car, he got himself a speeding penalty. And when this is all sorted out, it looks like he's going to be sitting way back there in 20th.
Hey, John?
Sir, yes, sir.
One thing we haven't noticed, guess where Nick Cohan is right now?
I don't even see Nick Cohan.
17th.
Another mistake on pit road, I'm guessing. Here, let's see if
I'm
we
going
can
to go back
find
and take a look.
Yeah, do that. Oh, my gosh. This, folks, this is just, it's gone insane. And if I'm Nick Cohan, I'm probably real nervous right now because I'm in the back of the pack with damaged race cars. My own car's damaged. Comstock's made his way back up to the 5th place. Let me give you guys a top 5 real quick while my super awesome investigative Canadian reporter finds out what happened to Cohan on pit road. Larry Pace, we talked about that before the break. He's going to inherit the lead because he was in the pits when the caution came out. Doug Roth in 2nd, Chad Coleman 3rd, Trey Edson 4th, and Dave Comstock 2nd place in the points, but 5th place on track. What you got there, super investigative reporter?
Well, Nick Cohan didn't make a mistake on pit road, John. He got his damage fixed. Got his damage fixed on the right side of that machine. So,
questionable call. I'm
well,
straight up call it the way I see it. That's a questionable call.
Because at the end of the day, John, if he's back in the field and a wreck happens in front of him, and he's got nowhere to go, that ends his race.
Exactly.
Whereas, you know, but with the damage that he had on it, he could have slid back there anyway. It's kind of, you know, one of those things that's half a dozen one or the other. It doesn't matter really what you do.
Yeah, you're right.
It's kind of, it's a tough call. Like, if I was in that situation, I don't know what I would have done. I would have probably still been trying to make the decision, but nonetheless,
right?
For yeah, no kidding. But for Cohan, yeah, that's probably the right call at this stage. We still got 33 laps to go or so when we get the green flag again. So he's got time to make his way back up there. He's just got to hope and pray that nothing happens in front of him that he can't miss.
Well, I'm going to rub as much paint off of my car on the right side as I can. Doug Roth is up there on the outside, going to start second. Not sure how that happened. He possibly had also been on the pit road. We didn't really watch it. But here we go. Pace lights are off the pace car. They're stacked up 2 by 2. You got Larry Pace on the inside, Doug Roth on the outside. Behind them are Chad Coleman, Trey Edson, and Dave Comstock. Let's keep our eyes on Comstock on this restart, Mitch, because this is going to be a very important restart for him to try and avoid getting in any kind of mess with these guys up in front of him.
And pace car is off here, John, as these guys are going to come and get the green flag. Waiting on Larry Pace to hit that throttle and get this field moving. As there he goes, and he spins the tires. Green flag is in the air. Yeah, the 2 leaders spin the tires a little bit. So look at Trey Edson pushing that 43 car of Doug Roth down the front straightaway as they go into 3. Now they're 3 wide.
3 wide into turn 1, and this is going to be fun to watch right here. Roth has found himself someplace he's not used to being, and that's up in the middle of a snarling pack of race cars fighting for the lead. And it looks to me like Roth is going to hang on to second spot there. In the meantime, behind him, the 20 sneaks by the 10 down there inside and takes that 3rd spot. But look at Comstock still hanging right there in 5th, looking to maybe move up a little bit here underneath that 10 car of Trey Edson.
Comstock underneath of Edson right here. Not going to get it done this time around, I don't think. If he's smart, he's going to get up behind him just like that and maybe try and make the pass on the outside going through 1 and 2 here, John.
In the meantime, way down there, up in there, you see the 20 car just trying to find any speed anywhere on the track that you can right now. And I'm really, really impressed with Doug Roth's run right now in 2nd spot. He's banged that car off the wall a few times tonight there, Mitch, but does not seem to affect the handling too bad as he's pulled up onto the bumper of Larry Pace.
Doug Roth doing an exceptional job and now going for the lead against Larry Pace. Doug Roth going low and into turn number 3 here. We'll see if he can get it done. Kind of gets a run through the center of the corner. We'll see if he can get it on the exit.
I don't know. Pace is strong on the outside, and I'm guessing maybe Roth heard my comments and got a little pissed off about it and says, look, oh yeah, watch this. And look at this on the outside. It looks like the 20 car of Chad Cole's got thoughts of making it 3 wide, and then Pace jumps up in front of him to prevent that from happening.
That would be Chad Coleman. As
Coleman,
they go down
that Chad guy. One of those Chad guys.
I just love correcting you, John, as they go through 1 and 2 here. Look at Coleman, going to make it 3 wide at the bottom. And Doug Roth in the middle of this.
Oh, who backs out?
Doesn't look like anyone's going to back out. They're just going to sort it out without anyone backing out. As now Pace on the outside of Coleman, trying to get it done on the outside, but Coleman looks like he's a little bit stronger right now.
Yep, Coleman looks real strong down there on the inside, but look at this. Roth's going to go with Coleman down there on the inside, all the way down to the apron. He's going to follow him, maybe got a little bit of a draft help right there, but look at that outside. Pace on the outside, powering by like he's got more horsepower or something. Down into turn 1, 2 by 2, 1 through 4th. What a race we've got on our hands here, Mitch.
Look at this battle for the lead. It's a 4-way battle for the lead. Soon to be a 5-way once Comstock gets up here and with these guys. He's already there. It's just a matter of if he wants to take it 3 wide. And there he goes above the 43 of Doug Roth. And these guys are not giving an inch to each other.
Not at all. And I'll tell you what, while they're up there duking it out, everybody behind them has caught them. We're about to have about a 9-car fight for the lead, it looks like. I mean, this is this ultimate chaos. Maybe Cohan knew this was coming and just decided to sit this one out.
Yeah, and speaking of Cohan, John.
Still back there in 17th.
Yeah, so, I mean, the difference going into this race was 14 points between him and David Comstock. So right now, Comstock doesn't have enough to win this championship. So, he's going to have to get to that lead. He's pretty much going to have to win this race, I think, John.
I believe so. I haven't been able to stop and do the math because there's just so much going on track right now. But I believe, who led at the halfway point? Was that Cohan or Jacoby?
Cohan
it was Cohan, my producer
tells
me, so he got that point. So I think you're right. Unless Cohan drops way back, maybe 5 or 6 spots here, Comstock's have to pick his pace up. Well, he's still right there in the thick of things up front. He's gotten past that 43 of Doug Roth, moved him up to 4th. Trying to sneak up in there, it looks like Mitch, trying to get up in the 3rd spot, maybe take it 3 wide going down into 3 here shortly.
Yeah, he thought about it, John, but thought better of it here as E.J. O'Rourke now behind the 42 of David Comstock. Into turn number 3, Comstock going to try and dive it in there and get around the outside of that 10 of Trey Edson. As here they go, and Comstock, I believe, is going to get a big run off the corner as, yeah, there it is. He's above the 10 of Trey Edson now, so slowly but surely making his way up through to the front here.
A little bit of bump drafting there coming down the front stretch.
3 wide.
3 wide. Oh, no. That's going to be a threat.
Pace spins.
Pace gets turned. Still under green.
A great save by Larry Pace. What a save
Wow,
by Larry Pace to keep this thing green. If we could get a replay of that, and the replay is going up here, what a save by Larry Pace to try and do everything he can to keep this race green.
Wow, that was one of the most impressive saves I've seen. I mean, he is looking at the inside wall right there, locks him up, gets off the throttle, gets that car straight, doesn't collect anybody else in that. That was very, very impressive. It's a bad news for him. I mean, it drops him all the way back to, I think, probably 20th or so, but at least we're still in the green, and at least he's not wrecked.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to cycle him back. You're right, John, to the 20th position there. But nonetheless, you know, you got to give him credit where credit is due. He could have just as easily just spun it out and brought out a caution, but instead did a really solid job of just keeping that car straight.
Well, what that does, folks, that puts Comstock up to second spot. And looking back in the field, Cohan's gained a few spots. He's up to 14th now. So we still have a very tight battle here for this championship lead. I think Cohan's got it by about 4 points. I'm not even going to, suggest my math is correct on that, Mitch, but it looks like it's really close right now. But Comstock, if he can get up there and get the lead and hope maybe, that Cohan loses a couple of spots, this is going to be crazy. How do they even settle tiebreakers in this league?
I'd assume it goes to wins, and then top 5s, and then top 10s, so on and so forth. But I'm not going to speculate too much. I do believe that's how they do it, though.
Well, that's going to be here and there right now. We're not worried about that. Our producer says he's pretty sure it's the same way. Thank you, Aaron, for being so helpful tonight, man. We really couldn't do most of this without you. But yeah, so it would go to wins. But I tell you what, speaking of wins, look at this fight up front and look behind them. I mean, we've got cars everywhere, and Roth has faded back. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's probably just a result of him just driving the hell out of those tires earlier, Mitch.
Yeah, he had a really good run up front, and also you never know, he could have been on those tires for a couple laps before he stayed out, John. So that could be playing a factor as well. But back to the whole tiebreaker we were just talking about. Comstock and Cohan both have 3 wins this season, so it would then go to top 5s, in which Comstock would come out victorious, as he has 7 top 5s and Cohan has 5. So if it comes down to a tiebreaker, I do believe that David Comstock would win the tiebreaker.
It is so nice to work with professionals in the booth.
I'm no professional. I don't know. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'm just acting like I do.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is one hell of a race we've got going up here, man. I mean, nobody's running away with this race. Nobody has just gone out and smoked the entire crowd. It's been very tight battle. And look, up in 6th place now, Jacoby, a former leader. He had a mistake on pit road. He's made his way back up to the top 10. Now he's in 6th place. He's not out of it yet. Now, we're coming around through 3 and 4 right now. When we come back to the flag, it's going to be lap 59 out of 80, which leaves us about 21, 22 laps to go. So I wouldn't count him out just yet, but he's got a lot of tough cars to get past to get back up to that lead.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get there, John, but we've seen he has a good short-run car as well as a good long-run car. So, he has the ability to do it. It's just I don't know if he has enough time to do it. We've only got about 22 laps to go here. Going to be going to lap 60 next time by.
Well, he's trying to take 5th away from Tommy Ryan, that 99. Tommy's somebody we haven't talked a whole lot about tonight, Mitch. He kept his nose clean, stayed out of trouble, worked his way up. He's in the top 5 right now, but he's got heat being steadily applied by that 39 of Jason, Mr. Excitement Jacoby. In the meantime, back up front, it's still the 20 car of Chad Coleman, followed very closely by Dave Comstock. And I'm just wondering, Mitch, you think Comstock's just sizing him up, saving as much tire as he can for like maybe a last-minute charge around lap 75 or so?
That is definitely a possibility. As looking back to Cohan again, he is now he's still in 14th position. So like we said earlier, Comstock pretty much going to have to win this race. Look, he's making a move to the inside of Chad Coleman now to try and get that lead.
And up front, you heard what Mitch said. Comstock is putting the heat all over Coleman. Down to the inside in 3 and 4. He's got a great advantage right there coming through 3. A good run through the center. And it looks like he's going to take that lead and slide up in front of 20. Is the 20 going to try and cross over? No, he's not. But behind them, look at this. These 2 teammates we've got, and Edson and O'Rourke, they're fighting each other for 3rd spot. But move Comstock to the lead. And, oh, my goodness, look how close these guys are back here in 4th and 5th.
Man, you could throw a blanket over the top 6 here, John, as these guys just battling it out. All these guys trying to go for the lead as Comstock goes to the point right now. But like I said earlier, I mean, Comstock is pretty well going to have to win this race, regardless of where Cohan finishes. For Comstock to even have a chance. Oh, and there goes a run.
Oh, we're wrecking. Oh my goodness. Oh, he
Great
saved
save.
it. Tell me he did not save that.
Oh my goodness, EJ O'Rourke, what a save! I mean, we've had like 8 saves of the year, the whole night here, John, as we're rolling the replay.
Oh my lord!
For the fans out there, as O'Rourke, I have no idea how he held on to that thing.
Wow, man, you cannot do any better than that. That was one of the most amazing saves I think I've ever seen. He was perpendicular to the field right there. I mean, the cars behind him had to be crapping all over themselves, thinking there was about to be a huge wreck.
I mean,
Wow.
listen, I don't like blowing up EJ's head than it already is, because, I mean, that's just a dangerous thing to do, but that was an incredible job that EJ O'Rourke did saving that car.
Oh, man. I don't know, to be honest with you. Aaron's talking to us about these saves as well. Folks, I've said this so many times, and I want people to understand, I don't personally know most of these drivers in the Sim500 League. What I do know is I've been sim racing, and I've been to real races all my life. I'm 49. I've been around race cars for years. Yes, we know Comstock's in the lead. What I'm saying is that these guys, they don't get no better than these guys in this league right here, Mitch. You have to back me up on that. I mean, you don't see this kind of craftsmanship on a racetrack, especially in sim racing, where you can get that sideways and save it very often.
Yeah, that was a great job by EJ, and a lot of these guys just have so much talent. There's so much tough competition here at Sim500, and it's so tough to compete with these guys on a weekly basis just because of how good they are at what they do. So it's definitely a lot of fun to watch these guys, and again, I have to reiterate that was just an unbelievable save by O'Rourke and Pace earlier on in the race tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Larry Pace had an outstanding save going down to 1 earlier. Folks, this is the Kickass Beef Jerky Wednesday night Xfinity series that you're watching here on the Sim Racing Network. These guys are the Sim500.com league. If you want to be a part of this, head over to Sim500.com and check them out, see what they have to offer. They might have some openings left and a couple of other series that are fixing to start up. But you just doesn't get any better than this group of guys right here. Yes, everybody makes mistakes. We've seen some of that a few times, you and I, Mitch. But it's not often, and more often than not, you get this kind of racing each and every week with these guys.
Well, and most of the mistakes that we've seen them make, as there's a battle for third on track here, is Jacoby trying to make his way around Coleman here. But as I was saying, a lot of the mistakes that these guys make is on pit road. And we saw that a lot tonight. I mean, there's been 3, 4, 5 guys that have made big mistakes on pit road that have cost them 10, 15 positions. So, but on track, often you won't see these guys make a ton of mistakes.
Absolutely. And look at that move that Jacoby made to take third away, but Coleman's back down to his inside through 1 and 2, going to try and take that. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull it off, because Jacoby's looked real good in that line he's been running tonight. And here we go, coming out of turn 2. Put Jacoby up to third, because he's going to have that run going down the backstretch. He's going to move ahead of that 20 car. Jacoby up to third now, sets his sight on second place. What do you think, Mitch? Here we are, lap 66, coming around and take 67. We're going to have about 13 laps to go. Do you think he's got time to get up there and give a challenge for that lead again?
Earlier I said no, but right now I'm saying yes, because Jacoby is doing an incredible job, going fast and saving those tires once again. So I think Jacoby has a shot at this win. He's catching everyone. He's the fastest car on track right now. So I think before long, Jacoby's going to be up there and battling with David Comstock for that lead.
I tell you what, my car owner used to say up in Virginia. He would come on the radio and say, "Watch out for so and so coming up behind you. Somebody's lit a fire in his ass." And that's about the way Jacoby's driving right now. Like somebody has lit a fire underneath him, because he's on a roll. But back up front, I don't know if you noticed this, but Edson has caught Comstock, that 10 car right there, in second place. And as I say that, he drops back a few bumper links there, or car links, but he was right on the bumper of the 42. I don't know if maybe Comstock's trying to take it easy on his tires and make sure he's got something to fight off these guys with later on, or maybe he's already burned his tires up. But we're about to have, it looks like, a 3-car fight for this lead here, Mitch.
I've never heard the term bumper links before, John, but I will say that's a pretty cool term.
You did now. There you go.
Yeah, you betcha. As they work through 1 and 2 and look back at Cohan, still riding in 14th place. He's been there for the majority of this run here, John, but look at this.
Oh, we got a car off the wall, down to the inside.
The 8 car in the wall, and looks like Creighton back there as well was in the wall. So Cohan now slides back behind Nelson Rivera. Looks like he's going to be back to the, I believe that's going to be the 15th spot.
I'm not sure if Mark likes his paint job very much. I just painted that car for him, and he's tore it all up tonight. Anyway, back up front, though, look at this. It's less than 100th of a 0.084 between Edson and Comstock, and then right on the bumper of Edson, you got the 39 car. It's just crazy, crazy tight up front. And we got cloud cover moving back over the track. The temperatures dropped down. I say down, but not much, to 112. Mitch, this is I don't have words for how exciting this fight for the lead's getting, man.
It is very exciting, and the battle for the championship also heating up because Nick Cohan now in the 15th position. Comstock would be in a really good spot right here, except for the fact that he got a lot less stage points than Nicholas Cohan did. So I do believe that Nicholas Cohan, even though he is 14 spots behind Comstock right now, that would put them in the lead if there was no bonus points. But as we say that, there's a battle for the lead. Here comes Edson trying to get underneath that 42 of Comstock.
Comstock cannot afford to give this lead up. He has to maintain this lead. He has to fight for it all the way to the finish. And coming around now through 3 and 4 on lap 70, when we come by, this time by, be 10 to go. And like I said, Comstock can't give this lead up. What he needs to hope for right now is that 39 gets up there on the bumper of the 10 and starts to slow him down a little bit. And that's exactly what's going on. And look at this, down to the middle of the track. The 10 car, Edson drops down. I don't know if he was trying to block or what, but he's down to the inside now, Comstock, going down through 1 and 2, and we've got to fight for the lead.
Fight for the lead here as Edson makes his way underneath the 42 of Comstock. Comstock got to be sweating bullets now. He knows he's got to stay in that lead to even have a chance at this championship. Going down the back straightaway here, Comstock pulls back out in front of that 10 car. He's got to go back and block the air from the nose of that 10 in order to make it so he's a little bit tighter behind him, and he does that. So put David Comstock back to the sole control of the lead.
And in the meantime, on the outside of the 10 car, you've got that 39 of Jason, Mr. Excitement Jacoby. He's going to take second spot away on the high side this time, and look out, folks. He's got his eyes now set for that lead, and that is bad news for David Comstock because I think that Jacoby has what it takes to get by him.
It is bad news for David Comstock as Jacoby making his way to the back bumper. He has made his way through the field into the back bumper of that car. So a great job by Jason Jacoby. And one more update on Cohan, still running 15th. And so Comstock has 14 points on him right now. But like I say, I believe that Cohan got somewhere around 7 more stage points than David Comstock did at the halfway bonus mark. So
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you there, but I don't know if that was intentional or what, but Jacoby just yanked that wheel hard to the left coming off of 4. I didn't know if he got loose or if he was just trying to get down underneath Comstock there, but man, that was just a really hard, sharp turn there.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get down to the bottom, try and cut the track off a little bit, go a little bit less distance to try and make up some ground on Comstock. As here they go into turn number 3, Jacoby just stalking that 42, but that 42 of Comstock is not going to give it up easy to that 39 car.
You're absolutely right, and if I'm looking at that, I'm looking real hard at 39. He's got some right front damage. He's got into the wall somewhere, but that does not seem to affect the performance of this car at all. He's right down that left rear corner of Comstock, trying to side drop him maybe a little bit there and see if he can get slowed up going down to the 1. And here he goes for the lead, down hard on the inside, tries it in there real good, makes it stick. I think he's going to pull it off right here coming out of the turn.
It's tight.
Slides right in front of Comstock. Comstock back down the inside, does not decide to try and push that. He's going to tuck right in behind Jacoby going down through the backstretch into turn 3, put Jacoby to the lead.
And I'll tell you, I know Dave Comstock, and he is not going to like that move by that 39 Jason Jacoby. It was pretty tight. You know, the Comstock's battling for a championship. He's going to be a little heated under that helmet right now, I think, John. So what he's got to do is just got to get his emotions back under control and just, think big picture. He's still got a shot at this if something happens to Cohan. He just needs to just calm down under that helmet and try and get back to the lead here.
Absolutely right. That time by was lap 75. We've got 5.5 laps right here as they come off of turn 2.
Comstock in the wall.
Comstock in the wall. That's going to cost him big time. Loses a ton of speed. The 10 car sneaks by on the inside, so moves the 10 car of Transon up to second place. Comstock back to third. That certainly did not help his championship outlook at all.
Not at all. And now Cohan definitely going to have trouble for that 42 of David Comstock to even have a shot at this. So not looking good for for David Comstock here late in the going.
Well, speaking of the 21 car, he's got his hands full with Larry Pace in that 00 car. Pace on the outside trying to take that spot away and maybe move Cohan back one more spot. And directly behind them, they've got that 8 car of Randy Yoakum. So this isn't over yet for Cohan by any means. We've still got 5 laps to go. In the meantime, back up front, Jacoby extends his lead out over Edson to almost 0.3 of a second. Comstock is falling back from Edson's back bumper. I think maybe he's got no tires left there, Mitch. It looks like maybe he's used it all up.
Yeah, and that's uncharacteristic for David Comstock for burning up his tires. We usually see him on the other end of the spectrum where he saves his stuff right to the end of the run. He comes back to the lead and more often than not is battling for the win at the end of these things. But now sliding backwards, and I'd assume, John, that damage that Cohan or that Comstock rather has is not helping.
Probably not at all. Speaking of Cohan, he has fallen back to 16th place, and now he's got his hands full with the 8 car of Randy Yoakum. Yoakum looking to move up one spot. Every spot that Cohan loses helps out David Comstock, but the question is it going to be enough? Because even if that 8 car gets by, there is nobody else behind the 21 car to pass him. So as far as he can fall right now is about the 17th. So we'll see how this shapes up. But back up front, in the meantime, it looks like Edson has inched up just a little bit closer to Jason Jacoby. Maybe has sights set with about 2.5 laps to go of trying to make a fight for the lead on the last lap.
Yeah, and looking back at that 42 Comstock, he is not having a fun night as of right now, as he's sliding backwards even further, and he has the 20 of Chad Coleman breathing down his neck, so it's not looking good here at all for that 42 of Comstock. It's got to be a heartbreaker for him.
It really does. I mean, he made a mistake on pit road earlier that cost him big time. He made up for it, but in trying to keep his lead, these guys forced him to drive a race that he's not used to driving. He is not an overly aggressive driver. We've always talked about how he's able to save his tires and save his car, and they kind of forced his hand, Mitch. These guys that don't have anything to lose at all forced him to drive away. He's not accustomed to driving, I think, and I think that's what cost him.
It could be, John, as these guys were probably pushing him harder than he wanted to run, which is just one of those things where at the end of the day, you kind of have to sit back and think, do I run my own race? Do I just save my stuff and slide back to, 5th or 6th place and then come back at the end of the run? But then there's the little voice in the back of your head saying, oh, what if we only get short runs here? Then what are we going to do? So, at the end of the day, Comstock, I think he had to be more aggressive tonight, and he was. It's just not working out at this point for him.
Well, that's it, folks. Last lap right here. They've taken the white flag. It looks like Jacoby, all he has to do is be real smooth coming off of 2 here, smooth going into 3, not make any mistakes, and he's going to have himself a checkered flag. Meantime, back there in 3rd, Comstock's got his hands full of that 20 car of Chad Coleman. Here we go, down through 3 for the last time. Jacoby's still got that lead. It's still about the same as it was last time by. Coming off of turn 4, he's going to be coming off here on the head of steam. Down the front stretch, coming across the line, it looks like Jason Jacoby's going to win this race. And back there behind him, both Coleman, wow, both Coleman and Comstock brushed the wall a little bit, so they both finished about where they were running. But give that win to Jason. Mr. Excitement Jacoby brings it home after making a mistake on pit road, lost a lot of track position, made it all up, got himself the lead. Jason Jacoby in 1st, Trey Edson 2nd, David Comstock 3rd, Chad Coleman 4th, and 5th is Brandon Bowie. Brandon Bowie made a nice comeback there, Mitch.
He did, and I believe, John, I'm not going to say anything official, but right now, as the finishing order sat, Comstock only made up 11 points on Cohan there. So as far as I can see, Cohan is going to be the champion here in the 2019 or the Wednesday night Kickass Beef Jerky Winter Series. I believe it's going to be Cohan as champion.
Well, we'll find out. We'll get that official word as soon as we can. We're going to go corner to corner to let you watch these burnouts that Jason Jacoby's going to do. When we come back, we will have an interview with whoever the champion is and our top 3. So make sure you stay tuned for that, folks, and we'll be right back.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back to Michigan International Speedway, where we have concluded the final championship race of the Kickass Beef Jerky Winter Series for the Sim500 guys. And Mitch, that was one hell of a race, man.
It was a lot of fun to watch. There was a lot of different storylines coming through this race, John, as far as pit road mistakes goes in the championship battle and the race for the lead. So it was definitely no shortage of excitement on track.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, aren't you standing down there right now with our third place finisher on the race and second place finisher in the championship series?
I am here with David Comstock, who finished third tonight, and I believe second in the points here this year. Talk to me about the season and the race tonight here, David.
Season was great until we got to the chase. We didn't have golden horseshoes and teammates to help us out there. So unfortunate that our performance doesn't reflect the end result here. Track tonight, couldn't figure it out as far as long run would go. I was quick for about 15 laps, and then after that, I just had no feel in the right front. So I couldn't exactly tell exactly what I was doing. I kind of figured it out 1 and 2, 3 and 4. I just couldn't. I was lost every single time going on that corner. So made up some adversity with good old iRacing's virtual pit box that they have that doesn't line up with the physical boxes on the track because we were in the lines and they didn't want to pit the car. So we had to go back and reposition into our stall for them to allow it to pit the car. So, but other than that, thanks to sponsoring the car with racingbiz.com. You go every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. You watch the live auctions there. You got all kinds of really cool merchandise we got for sale there. You can go try to get your bids on to get some really cool, unique stuff every single week we got there. Carolina Doors and Windows, JD Lair, JDR Graphics, you guys for broadcasting, all the fans out there watching, Sim500, the admins for putting on the series, and Kickass Beef Jerky for sponsoring it.
Yeah, definitely. And one more question, David. We saw, after that pit road incident that put you back in the field quite a ways back there. Talk about how tough it was to make your way back up through there and how tough it was to pass here tonight.
It was tough for sure. You just pretty much go where they were not, and you have to make your moves and be committed to get by the people you need to get by to get your way back up. Trying to get those halfway stage points, and I knew that the first part of the race, before we had that first yellow, I was a bit better than Cohan there. After a few laps, it just when I got right behind him, I lost the air on the nose, about knocked the wall down off of 2 one time. So trying to get everything I could on that pit stop to try to get the lead and have a shot for clean air there and have a shot to try to get max stage points, knowing the situation at hand. But then again, like I said, just golden horseshoes and teammates.
Well, I appreciate your time here, David, and it was an impressive season for you this year, and good luck next year.
Yep, thanks.
And John, that was a very disappointed sounding David Comstock there.
Absolutely, I don't blame him. I mean, he had some tough luck, like he said. He just had a hard time getting the finishes he really needed to get, and it was so close tonight. It really was for him, but. Well, that's the way them cookies crumble. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you've made your way down a little bit further and caught up with our second place runner, Trey Edson.
I have, John, and Trey. It was a really good run for you here with the second place run tonight. at Michigan. Talk to me about your race.
Yeah, I screwed up qualified. Started in the rear. Usually pretty good here on the long runs, and that worked in my favor tonight. Staying green flag racing. A little frustrated at a few of the cautions because there were times where I was starting to take chunks off of the leader, like 2 3/10, and then we would get a caution. So I'm glad the end stayed green because I felt like I had the best tires. I honestly think I got outdriven right there by Jason. He was doing some stuff through 3 and 4 that I couldn't make work. But congrats to him, congrats to Nick on the championship. It was a tough spot there. I was riding behind David, who was close to Nick for the championship. So I'm trying to be a good teammate, and then I felt like I was faster. Obviously, once I got by, I checked out to run Jason back down. But just tough spot. A little disappointed that to be in that spot. You try to be a good teammate, and I had to make a move on David, but the bottom was pretty tough to make work unless you did like Jason did, where you just, I wouldn't say dirty him, but you super close to clearing yourself would be the best way to put it. I wouldn't risk that on a teammate. So once I went to the bottom, it gave Jason the top, and I kind of felt like we handed it away, but I couldn't be any more patient with David with Jason on my bumper. So fun season. It was cool to have the title sponsor on board for all 12 races. We were pretty consistent in the regular season and just kind of fell apart in the chase. Kind of made some dumb pit calls at the end. It didn't work out, and just kind of bunch of mistakes. But again, congrats to Jason and congrats to Nick.
Absolutely. And is there anyone you want to thank here? You mentioned Kickass Beef Jerky. Is there anyone else you want to thank here for this season?
In this series, no. Doing a good job in train service with the Cup Series. But yeah, just thanks to you guys for being a part of it. Thanks to Joey and everyone at Sim500. And it's my last race with Kickass on board of any of my cars. So I appreciate the partnership we had with them. We won quite a few races here in the Truck Series, the Cup Series last year, Xfinity, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. This series, we got one win early in the season. So kind of, I was the nice guy too many times and was the bridesmaid, but still a good run for them. Thanks to them being on board, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
We appreciate your time, Trey. Thanks.
Yeah, have a good one.
And John, that was our second place finisher here tonight, Trey Edson, and I believe that you've caught up with our winner here in Victory Lane.
Indeed, I have. You can hear the dejection in Edson's voice, man. He just he was in a rock and a hard place there with his teammate. But I am down here in Victory Lane with a guy who, after I watched him race one race, Mitch, I coined the phrase Jason Mr. Jacoby Excitement. And son, you lived up to that nickname tonight. Jason, congratulations on your victory, my friend.
Thank you, John. I really wanted to live up to that nickname, man. That was actually playing through my mind while we were racing. Man, John gave me the nickname Mr. Excitement, so I'm gonna try to live up to it. And I tell you what, man, I said on my stream, thanks to all my awesome stream viewers and the viewers watching this awesome broadcast that you guys do. I said on my stream that I need to make it exciting after I, that's why you got to slide through your pit box, is to, kind of make a run for it and put on a show, I guess. So I was very fortunate, man. This last week, I've just been running a lot better than I have been the past couple years in my iRacing career, and hopefully I can keep it up. Just hopefully I can keep up the good sim race driving here, and I can't wait, man, for some more Sim500 races coming up in a couple weeks. Look forward to putting on another good show and trying to live up to that nickname.
So, if I understand, that was all strategy. You sliding through your pit box and everything. Is that what you're telling me?
That's 100% correct, John. No, really.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm sticking to that one. Truth be told, I just got a little nervous entering the pit box, and but you got to make the best of any situation. And I said I was going to do my best to make it up to the front, and hopefully it would lead to some good racing. And I know I working on saving my tires a bit. When everyone was putting on a great show up ahead of me for in the top 10, it really played into my favor really well. I just kind of coasted back there and saved a bit of tires, and it really just came to me, man. If they hadn't been racing side by side so much, who knows how the outcome would have been at the end of this thing. But it sure was a lot of fun.
Well, man, you made some outstanding moves out there on track, Jason. Really, really impressive. And even Edson said that you were doing something in 3 and 4 that he tried it and he couldn't get his car to work. What were you doing that was so special down there in 3 and 4 that it looked like it just gave you one hell of a run come off turn 4 every time you did it?
Yeah, man, I tell you what, I think it was like Harry Hogg said, those special tires. No, I'm just kidding. But what it is everyone's wheel handles differently, and I'm sure there's a reason Trey couldn't get his car down there. I know for me, there's some tracks where with my particular setup, I just can't get it to turn right. But I think in this particular case, backing off early into 3 and kind of this is actually my case for many tracks. If we are racing, typically I enter lower than anyone else. No matter almost every track, I enter lower. Sometimes it bites me, but most of the time, especially in this case, it really does help to have a lower entry, kind of drag the brake just a bit, kind of hook the left sides on the seam or a little bit below the seam, and it'll kind of help your car turn a little more. So that's into 3 and 4. I just backed off early, kind of drug the brake a bit, hooked the seam in my left sides, and it kind of loosened the car up. And at that point, you just kind of drive it a little loose, not to the point where you burn up your tires, but it just kind of hooks the car down a bit more, and you just got to manage your tires, not getting it too loose, but also getting the proper drive off with that little bit of extra turn in it.
So now I'm going to change your nickname to the Professor.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I like it. Yeah.
Well, Jason,
Yeah,
that was
ahead.
a fantastic run, brother. Fantastic run. Very exciting to watch you make your way back up to the field after that little incident on pit road. Do you have anybody you want to thank for your win tonight, my friend?
Yes, sir. Everyone watching for sure. Seat Time Racing School, which is Buck Baker's driving school that helped me dial in my simulator to feel just like it did in the actual cars, and made it a lot more fun and realistic feeling. And iRacing is amazing. Thank you so much to iRacing for this sim, because if we didn't have iRacing, I don't know what I would be doing with my spare time. And also, once again, all my stream viewers and simracingjason.com for the rest of my sponsors. They provide great deals on everything they do, like Carbon Racing Solutions, best deals on websites, and bar none, Ford Entertainment Group. You cannot find a lower price on a computer, guaranteed. Brand new computers, Ford Entertainment Group, lowest prices to get started in iRacing with. iRacing comes pre-installed too when you, so you're ready to go. Just log in iRacing, purchase a subscription, start racing with us. So, and thanks to Sim500 and the title sponsor, the Beef Jerky company. And thank you all so much again, John. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Jason, for keeping us awake tonight. That was a fantastic race, my friend. Congratulations on your victory, folks. That is Jason, Mr. Excitement Jacoby, bringing it home to victory lane again this season. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, sir. See you guys.
And not too far away from me is the championship winner of the Kickass Beef Jerky Winter Series, Nick Cohan. Congratulations, Mr. Cohan, on bringing home that championship. But I got to ask, how nervous were you for the last half of that race?
Yeah, I was a little nervous. Made such a stupid mistake there when I got the wall. And I really could tell it really affected the car. So my first goal for tonight was to make sure I got those 10 halfway points. So we did that, and then kind of just got lucky there. I mean, we were pretty good. We had a pretty nice cushion with that 10-point lead. I don't know what Comstock did on pit road, but he's mad at my teammate, thinking we threw ice on the track last week for the restart. So hey, he screwed up on pit road, put himself in a bad spot, and I screwed up, put myself in a bad spot too. So those things happen. Sometimes it better be lucky than good. So I just couldn't get the run down the straightaways anymore. So just tried everything I could to hold on to every position. But I was doing the math a little bit under caution and realized we had a really nice cushion. So unless I got taken out or something, which almost happened a couple times there, but we were in pretty good shape. So I'm so happy, because it's been a long time since I've won a championship. Had a lot of really bad luck happen to me for championships, like computer crashing on me on the last lap as I was leading the championship. So you never know what can happen. Yeah, so you never know what can happen. So it's been a long time since I've won one. So it's nice that we lucked into one this time, even though we were competitive all season and showed. I think we were the best car tonight. Just made a little mistake, but that's how these things go. So I'm happy we got the Target CJ Automotive Toyota Camry here in Victory Lane.
Well, there you go, folks. Your champion for the Kickass Beef Jerky Winter Series here at Sim500, Nick Cohan. Nick, you have anybody else you want to thank for your championship tonight, bud?
Yeah, just want to thank all my teammates at Disney Motorsports, Kickass Beef Jerky for sponsoring this series. I can't wait to have some of that. I haven't gotten a chance to have any of that, so I'm excited for that. Thanks to CG Automotive Target for being on the car, and I just want to dedicate this to a good friend of mine, Tommy, that passed away last year suddenly. So this is for him.
All right, there you have it, folks. Nick Cohan, great race tonight. Exciting race for you. Good championship run. Congratulations once again, Nick. And we'll be seeing you soon.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Well, there you have it, Mitch. Wow, what a race, huh, buddy?
That was an awesome race to watch, John, and really happy for Nick Cohan to win that championship. Through the adversity that he faced today, he still got it done, and so really good job there by Nick Cohan.
Well, just a few quick notes, folks, and we're going to sign off here. But tonight's race was 80 laps. We only had 2 cautions. They were quite spaced out at that for 8 caution laps. There were 5 lead changes. The fastest lap of the track goes to Chad Coleman with a 39.3 tonight on track in the race. And Nick Cohen led the most laps with 40, but like he said, he got into the wall and messed the car up, and it just didn't want to handle for him after that, Mitch. But man, what a hell of a run by Jacoby to come up through the pack after that mistake on pit road for him, and how heartbreaking is it for Comstock to fade like he did towards the end, you think? I mean, that just had to hurt.
Yeah, and you could tell in Comstock's voice that he's pretty disappointed with how the end of that race played out. Like he said, he had a great season up until the point that the playoffs kind of rolled around. He kind of started falling off a little bit, he said, but nonetheless, a really good job by Comstock all year long, and tonight as well, to bring it home third and to bring it home second in the championship standings there. So nothing to be ashamed of for that 42 driver.
Not at all. Well, folks, that's going to do it for the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Winter Series. However, don't fret. The Sim Racing Network will be back in 2 weeks on March 27th for a brand new series on Wednesday nights, and it's called the WCIparts.com Truck Series, presented by Sim500. Not presented by Sim500, but they'll be the ones racing, I guess I should say. It'll be a truck series. I'm hoping, Mitch, that I'm going to get to participate in that. So you're going to have to find somebody else to sit up here in the booth and chat with you. But like I said, folks, that starts off March 27th at Daytona International Speedway, 70 laps on the night track. It's going to be fun, so make sure you set your alarm clocks or your reminders for that. And if you go to Facebook and Twitch and YouTube and find the Sim Racing Network, you can actually like and follow us, and we'll give you notifications on when we go live. So how's that work out for you? Well, Mitch, I had a hell of a time tonight broadcasting this race with you, friend. Do you have any last-minute thoughts on the race before we head out?
Yeah, I just want to congratulate Jason Jacoby on the win here tonight, John, and I want to congratulate Nick Cohan on the championship. He was great all season long. He had speed every week, and he definitely deserves to be there. So it was a great season all around, and it's good to be up in the booth with you once again, man.
It's always fun to be up here with my favorite crazy Canadian. I love you, man.
Well, kind of taking a little bit of a step away from driving. I'm still driving in the Cup Series, but not as much as I used to do. But I'm having a lot of fun with these things, so hopefully I can do a few more with you guys.
I hope so, too. Well, folks, that's going to do it for the Sim Racing Network here in the Kick-Ass Winter Beef Jerky Series. Our champion, once again, Nick Cohan. It was a lot of drama tonight. You had, up and down drama all over the track. We had 2 wonderful, amazing drivers do amazing saves that I still can't believe they didn't wreck. But that's if you missed it, go watch the replay on our YouTube channel once it's up. For myself, Aaron Groskopf down there in the van. Aaron, thank you so much for the pictures you've given us tonight. Mitch, thank you for being part of this. And folks, remember, when you're out on those roads, please put your phone down. Be safe at all times. It's not worth your life or injuring somebody else to take that phone call or text that message or look at that picture. You can do it when you get to your destination. And please be good to each other out there. Learn to smile more often. Love all the time. God bless each and every one of you, and good night.